Hello, my name is Reginald, and I'm representing Pettus Marketing. And this is my request for proposal to work with Oliva Cigar Company, where we've offered up the slogan, Indulge in the Art of Luxury. So, just an introduction here with Oliva Cigar Company. So, Oliva has been manufacturing premium cigars since 1886. They have been committed to quality, craftsmanship, and innovation. They're one of the leading premium cigar companies, especially with their Melanio Oliva V, which is the first one on the left. If you take a look at that picture, it is sold in over 100 countries worldwide, and the target demographic is 35 to 65-year-old men. However, women do smoke Olivas; they do enjoy them quite a bit, but men pretty much rule in that category. Then the estimated annual revenue for Oliva is a little bit over, but just estimate is $100 million. So they got a little bit to work with. Next, let's talk about their current marketing. So it's a bit in a dismal state. Their Instagram is at 73,000 followers. Their Twitter is 14,500 followers. Their Facebook is at 45,000 followers. They have absolutely no YouTube account, and that's why there's 0 followers there, because there's no account at all. And they have no influencer relationships. And to top it all off, the total addressable market for premium cigars is $10.5 billion and growing. So they're really missing out on a lot of online marketing. And there's some reasons for that, which I will address here. So some of the issues here, I think that their low social media presence is really contributed to their offline fan base. So not a lot of 35 to 65-year-old men, which is the primary smokers of Oliva. Not many of them have social media accounts. A lot of them do. I'm not saying that there's none of them, but most of them do not. So I think Oliva has not really pushed a lot of content that way because of their offline fan base and their online fan base that they have now. The aforementioned, like 73,000 Instagram followers. There's 0 engagement. There's none whatsoever. There's maybe a comment here, comment there, but really no replies. And then the no influencer relationships, that's a really big issue that they have that I think we can solve that. And I will be addressing that here in the plan. So I'm going to include in this plan influencer partnerships. So we're going to partner with someone. That'll be the very next slide. Don't want to spoil it. Then I'd like to craft insightful and thought-provoking content that will be not just the content that we'll be doing on social media. That'll also be us creating a podcast. Then the next thing that I want to do is develop and plan a comprehensive social media content strategy across all platforms. And so that'll be, scheduling all those things that we want to send out to our consumers, send out to our potential customers, and all of this content will be them going around. Well, let me wait. We'll get into that. And then finally, we'll engage in intellectually stimulating dialogues with consumers. So for the influencer partnership, first, I'd like to partner with Stephen Curry. He is a basketball player for the Golden State Warriors. He's a pre-Hall of Famer, so he's very, very good at basketball. Some of the best there is. For Instagram, he has 55.4 million followers. That's a lot of followers. There's a lot of people who pay attention to Stephen Curry. For Facebook, he has 12 million followers, which I think a lot of the Oliva community is paying attention to on Facebook. That's the target demographic. A lot of 35 to 65-year-old men are on Facebook. He's a well-respected man, because not just because he's a basketball player, but the way he is off court. He's positive and wholesome. And my idea is that he can host a lifestyle podcast with Oliva, for Oliva. So we can have a contract written up, and he can spend time talking about Oliva, smoking Olivas, talking about basketball, watching basketball highlights, talking to people with, different sports, the best of the best is what I want to call it. The best of the best podcast. Next, the thought provoking content. I want to take a look and see at what makes Oliva the best. So I want to start at, taking a look to see what what contributes to the quality and the craftsmanship of every single Oliva cigar, starting with, the planting of the seed all the way up to the picking of the leaves and the fermentation process, rolling, aging, curing, all of it. And so that'll be the thought-provoking content that we can then, film and schedule. Next, I want to do for Oliva From Cuba to You tour. So I think that we should have some select, people who are very informed on the process, people who are not just on the factory floor, but also, talking about the logistics and how we get the cigars to the consumers and to the shops. Have those people go on tour to cigar shops around the world, showcase the limited edition cigars, inform customers on the different cigar lines by Oliva, which ones are the best, which ones are, for everyday lifestyle smoking. And then that'll be good for the hands-on face-to-face interaction, since a lot of our consumers, Oliva's consumers, are offline. Especially 35 to 65-year-old men, they might not have a whole lot of time to just look up and see all this content. But the one thing they do have time is to go and pick up cigars from their local cigar shop. We can go around to different cigar lounges and, just sit around and talk and just get to know people, build those relationships. And that's where we can say, hey, check out our new lines, check out our old things, and give us a follow. This will also boost familiarity. Then for the timeline for the phase one, this is starting as soon as possible. We should just go ahead and start filming all the farms and the workshops to see where and how we grow the cigars, the tobacco leaves. Then we'll reach out to Stephen Curry, give him a contract, and then schedule all those tour dates globally. Then for phase two, around 2 months, we can create and schedule all the social media content from what we've filmed from the farms and the workshops. We'll also film and release the best of the best podcast, Stephen Curry, first few episodes. And then we'll also announce the tour dates for the tour, for the From Cuba to You tour. Phase 3, 4 to 5 months, we'll evaluate the social media. We'll see where we are in terms of followers, take a look at the sales, and just see where the growth is and how we've gotten better, how we've improved. Then we'll seek out further partnerships for phase 4, 8 to 10 months, and see and increase the shelf stock in the stores. So people will be going to the stores, to lounges, to get more cigars, more Olivas, based on our interactions with Stephen Curry, with the podcast, based on our tours just going around between this time. And then we'll need to make sure we're keeping up with the demand. A couple of roadblocks is one, the offline audience. There's some people who won't be seeing all the marketing and all of the wonderful quality and craftsmanship that will be shown from Oliva online. We'll have a YouTube. People don't, they'll look for YouTube on things like how to put up a mirror or, how to fix their toilet, but it's not really cigars. So for the offline audience, I think we'll be addressing that when it comes to the tour. So I want to hit local places like, instead of saying, hey, we're going to go to Houston, we're going to go to Sugar Land, Cypress, and Katy. So the suburban people are, that's where 35 to 65-year-old men are. That's where we should be. So that'll address the offline audience. And then possible roadblock would be engaging the audience. So right now there's no engagement, but I think once we start scheduling or creating and scheduling the detailed creative process of the Oliva cigars, we'll be able to tackle this roadblock. And currently there are 0 YouTube followers. That will be an issue. That's something that we'll have to work on. And that's why I'd like to create the best of the best podcast, as well as all of, the aforementioned content from the Cuba. I'm sorry, for the taking a look at everything from the process, from the ground up. And I believe this will all be fixed once we attack. defining success. What does success look like? So if our social media is up, of course, we want to have more traffic, more web traffic on the website. I want to have 15,000 subscribers from the podcast onto the podcast for the first year. And then consumer engagement needs to be at 50% with the on our social medias. And then Instagram following up 33%. Right now it's at 73,000. It'd be great to get it to 100K. For the sales, a 15% profit margin. We need a boost in sales. That'll be how we show that people are learning more and more about our brand and are getting curious about, the quality and the craftsmanship of Oliva cigars. Then for the audience, I want to expand the audience. I want to grow the people who are listening and learning about Oliva cigars. This will become from the Steph Curry tour. From the Steph Curry podcast, as well as the global tour. And then there'll be increased brand awareness from that podcast. And all this will, again, boost the sales. So, my name is Reginald. This is the request for proposal for us to work with Oliva Cigars. Thank you.